Buyers on any given day would love to see more options, which is why the emergence of African cashew processor is something that they are looking forward to. However, there is a cost of switching from one origin of supply to another, for example, from Vietnam to Africa. And to understand that cost of switch, the buyers need to evaluate 4 questions. 1. Would the African processors be able to supply them quality consistently? 2. Would they be able to adhere to the food safety norms set by EU and US? Third, would they be able to withstand the volatility of the market and ensure there is no counterparty default? Fourth, they have to ensure that they supply every time on time, right? If they can evaluate these 4 risk areas and put that in the framework, they would be able to find the cost of switch. And that's most important challenge that the buyers face. The other challenges that the buyer would face from African context would be they don't have historical evidence and empirical data to evaluate the performance of a processor there in Africa. Very unlike your Vietnam and India, where they have 40 years, 30 years of data because they have been buying from those countries. So that's the second challenge that they have. And third is the creating awareness about cashew from Africa. That would be the third challenges. When it comes to the seller, the African processors there, things are way more simpler, but execution is way more complicated and difficult. There are 2 buckets I will put their challenges into. The first is the right to play. African processors, when they start processing in a cost-effective manner so as to be competitive from pricing standpoint with the Vietnamese processor, they earn the right to play. But the right to win will only come when they can differentiate their cashew kernels from the rest of the Vietnamese processor. They find a reason why consumers should buy an African processing. And when I talk about differentiation, it's very different from what the commodity world is used to, that standardization, that's the opposite of it. So there is that dichotomy. They have to handle it well. So that these are the 2 biggest challenges that the suppliers would have. I think the cashew industry as a whole needs to focus on the marketing. All alone they have been doing sales and have done that fantastically well. But they have to take cues from almond and pistachio and focus upon marketing so as to create a narrative why people should start consuming more of cashew. Second important thing in this line of argument would be how do they increase the size of the pie by getting into different usage of cashew. For example, almond milk constitutes 80% of the nuts milk. Can cashew play a part in it? Yes. When it comes to the West African cashew processors, as I said, they have to find a narrative for themselves, a unique selling proposition, and they differentiate through traceability, one origin, freshness, sustainability, something that cannot be replicated by Vietnamese or Indians. And that's how they have to market. I think these are the 2 components of marketing strategies. I think they are concerned about the consistency in quality. That is one. 2, the ability of the processor to manage the price volatility so that they buy the raw cashew nut in time at the right price so as to keep the supply going. These are the 2 main things. Third would be they're excited about the critical mass that is being generated now, the volume that comes out of Africa, but they are also cognizant of the fact that branding takes time. So they are also happy and they're excited about the fact that we are moving towards marketing and branding, but they're willing to give us more time. So that's a good part of it. So these are key take-homes from the panel discussion.